Mr. President and members of the Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, distinguished guests, in your opening address, you have attempted to analyze the economic scene. May I say that I fully share your optimism. In all countries, there are plus and minus points, but we try to profit from our experience and our mistakes. What is important is to ensure that temporary difficulties and setbacks do not distract us from our main task. There is no depth of people in India who see only the bad and predict worse. They have been proved wrong on many occasions, and I have no doubt that they will be proved wrong again. We should have faith in the basic resilience of our economic and cohesiveness of our society to which you have drawn attention. The current year has been one of exceptional difficulties. The failure of rains over a large part of the country, especially in regions which are traditionally rain scanty, has affected agricultural output. Last year's drought was as severe as in 1966-67, yet the output of food grains is approximately 25 million tons higher. This dramatic fact of our progress is overlooked. It has enabled us to face the current dark period by our own efforts. This progress was not advantageous. It was planned for, worked for, and even fought for. In 1966-67, we had drought plus its concomitants, acute food scarcity and large imports. This time there was drought, but the shortage of food grains has been met from government stocks with marginal imports obtained commercially. We are receiving encouraging Rabi reports from all over the country, and production is expected to be higher than ever before. From this experience, we have learned that while our agricultural base has strengthened considerably and its ability to withstand nature's vagaries is much greater, our psychological base needs reinforcement. I am not underrating the accumulated effects of deficit financing which was forced upon the government in the last 2 years, but apprehensions of scarcity cleverly manipulated by speculators have been factors contributing to steep price rise. We must build institutional structures so that shortages and the fears of the people cannot be exploited. Our decision to take over the wholesale trade in food grains should be viewed in this context. The decision was neither sudden nor rash. It has been on the agenda of our party and has been a persistent demand of rural producers and consumers. We think that it is in the larger interests of our people. Representatives of organized business cannot be expected to welcome it openly. But I would argue you to recognize not merely the public sentiment on this question, but the hard-headed proposition that elimination of hoarding and speculation in wage goods such as food is in the interest of industrial development. I hope that members of your federation will respond enthusiastically to your call to business and industry to become an engine of social change. What is needed is not just some social work in the field of family planning, health and education, but an awareness of industry's role in relation to our country's economic and social objectives and adjustment of attitudes, decisions and methods of work so that they are in tune with those objectives. The extent of the awareness and adjustment will determine the effectiveness of the role of industry as an instrument of social and economic change. It is easy to agree on general principles. Difficulties arise when theories are translated into action. My faith in man's higher nature does not allow me to accept the adequacy of the profit motive as an effective dynamic for growth and progress. Hence, I welcome the words of the President of the Federation when he says that businessmen should recognize and act upon wider responsibilities of firms. Modern professional managers realize that maximization of profits as the sole criterion of success and efficiency is self-defeating in the long run from the point of view of the firm itself. It leads to a situation in which growth and development slow down and obsolescence and decline set in. This is what has happened to many firms in our older industries, textile, jute, sugar, coal, and some engineering industries. The failure of managements to realize the economic implications of neglecting other aspects has led to sickness in these industries. And because of the larger economic and social implications of such sickness, government has to step in and bear the burden of the short-sightedness of previous owners. Firms have to evaluate their performance from the point of view of profitability, the quality of entrepreneurship and management, long-term growth and development, and their contribution of desired economic and social goals. By growth, I mean not only growth in size but also in process and technology. In our fast changing world, we cannot hope to sell our goods and increase our exports without keeping pace with the needs of the international market and ensuring quality and competitiveness in price. This calls for efficient use of resources and for improvements in process and technology. If our industry is content with collaborations or even the purchase of know-how each time a new modern unit is to be set up, how can we ever hope to make a decisive breakthrough? Unfortunately, this has so far been negligible. Government attaches the greatest importance to this question and hopes that private industry will accept itself fully in this regard.